General Hospital Prediction. Michael destroys Drew. Welcome to my channel General Hospital, where you can get news about. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. And I am your buddy. Now let's get started. General Hospital Predictions. See that Michael Corinthos now has the ammunition he needs to take down Drew Kane Quartermain once the shocking truth comes out on the ABC Sudser. Michael Corinthos in the dark on General Hospital. Currently on GH, Michael Corinthos has no idea that his wife, Willow Tate, kissed his uncle, Drew Kane, on the 4th of July. To complicate matters further, Drew admitted to Willow that he could imagine a future with her if things were different. So it wasn't just an innocent kiss, there were feelings behind it. They both want to put it behind them, but that's easier said than done. Plus, Willow is drowning in guilt over betraying her husband. Indeed, Michael would rage if he found out. Willow wants to move on with her life with Michael on General Hospital, but it looks like she's about to crack. Furthermore, her good friend Sasha Gilmore saw the kiss. So it's only a matter of time before the truth gets out, and the fallout could be epic. Mikey's desperate move gives him ammo on GH. Recently, Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, went to Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, for a favor. He needs her to introduce him to Congressman Larry McConkey, Sam McMurray. He wants to persuade the congressman to open an investigation against FBI agent John Jagger Cates, Adam Harrington. In turn, he's hoping that will get the charges against his mother, Carly Corinthos Fencer, Laura Wright, dropped. He finally managed to convince Nina by agreeing to peace between them on General Hospital. However, she warned him that it's risky, not only for them, but for Drew Kane Quartermain, Cameron Matheson, who's running for Congress. She says there will be a massive uproar from the media if they find out that the nephew of McConkey's hand-picked successor leaned on him to tip the scales in his mother's favor. It will be the end of McConkey's legacy as well as Drew's campaign. Michael swears that all he is doing is bringing the actions of a rogue FBI agent to McConkey's attention. He believes he can avoid any fallout and claims Drew will be fine. However, Michael still doesn't know about what's going on with Drew and Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, on General Hospital. So when he learns the truth, it could be a game changer and might use his plan as a weapon against Drew. General Hospital Prediction. Drew going down. Once Michael knows about the kiss and, more importantly, the feelings between Willow and Drew, he will flip. And by the time he finds out, even more might happen between them. It's clear that they're finding it hard to resist their attraction to one another. Soon, they could end up sleeping together. If so, Michael's marriage to Willow would likely be over, but he may also vow to make Drew pay for getting physical with his wife. Indeed, he'll be furious, and he could very well destroy Drew's future in politics, and also his good name. Perhaps Nana is using this to her advantage as well on General Hospital. Remember, she knows about Drew's kiss with Willow, so she may use Michael's plan as leverage over Drew to keep him away from Willow. Of course, for the sake of Willow's marriage, but also because Nina's developing feelings for Drew. No doubt he thinks he has everything under control, but his world is dangerously close to crashing down around him. GH is full of shocks and twists. Don't miss a minute to see if Michael Corinthos ruins Drew's life on the ABC opera. Michael Corinthos had always been a man of principles. Raised in the tumultuous world of Port Charles, he had seen more than his fair share of betrayals and alliances. But the latest events in his life had shaken him to his core. His relationship with Drew Kane had always been complicated, but recent revelations threatened to tear them apart irrevocably. Drew, who had returned to Port Charles after being presumed dead, was a man on a mission. He sought to reclaim his life, reconnect with his loved ones, and seek justice for the wrongs done to him. However, his return had stirred up old rivalries and new tensions, especially with Michael, who had grown into a powerful and influential figure in the Corinthos family. The tension between Michael and Drew began to escalate when Drew discovered that ELQ, the family company, was embroiled in shady dealings. Drew's instincts as a former Navy SEAL and his inherent sense of justice made it impossible for him to look the other way. He began to dig deeper, uncovering layers of corruption and deceit that pointed back to Michael. Michael was determined to protect ELQ at all costs. The company was not just a business to him, it was a legacy, a symbol of his family's power and influence. He couldn't let Drew's crusade tarnish that. As Drew's investigation decided to employ the services of a private investigator, someone who could dig up dirt on Drew and discredit him. He knew it was a ruthless move, but he justified it as necessary for the greater good of his family. The investigator uncovered Drew's past connections with various criminal elements, some of which were uncomfortably close to home. Drew, meanwhile, was relentless in his pursuit of the truth. He confronted Michael with his findings, hoping to reason with him and put an end to the corruption within ELQ. But Michael's reaction was not what Drew expected. "You have no idea what you're getting yourself into, Drew," Michael said, his voice cold and steely. "This isn't just about you or me, it's about the future of our family." "And what kind of future are you building, Michael?" "One built on lies and deceit." Drew shot back, his anger barely contained. As the conflict between Michael and Drew intensified, their personal lives began to unravel. Drew's relationship with his daughter, Scout, became strained as he became more consumed with his battle against Michael. He struggled to balance his need for justice with his responsibilities as a father, causing friction with those he loved. Michael, on the other hand, found himself increasingly isolated. His obsession with protecting ELQ drove a wedge between him and his family. His relationship with Willow Tate, his partner, began to suffer. She noticed the change in him, the coldness that had seeped into his heart. "Michael, what's happening to you? You're not the same man I fell in love with," Willow said one evening, her voice filled with concern. "I'm doing what I have to do, Willow. For our family, for ELQ," Michael replied, his eyes distant. "But at what cost? You're pushing everyone away," Willow pleaded, but Michael's resolve remained unshaken. The situation reached a boiling point when Drew uncovered a crucial piece of evidence that could expose the corruption within ELQ and implicate Michael directly. He knew that going public with this information would destroy Michael's reputation and potentially land him in prison. But Drew believed it was the right thing to do. Michael, realizing the imminent threat, decided to take a drastic step. He orchestrated a smear campaign against Drew, releasing the dirt he had on him to the media. The revelations about Drew's past connections with criminal elements spread like wildfire, overshadowing his findings about ELQ. The public backlash against Drew was swift and brutal. His reputation was in tatters, and he found himself under investigation for crimes he didn't commit. Michael watched from the sidelines, his expression unreadable. He had achieved his goal, but the victory felt hollow. Drew confronted Michael one last time, his face a mask of rage and betrayal. "You think you've won, Michael? You've destroyed me, but at what cost? Look at what you've become," Drew said, his voice shaking with emotion. "I did what I had to do, Drew. For my family," Michael replied, but the conviction in his voice was gone. The fallout from the conflict between Michael and Drew was far-reaching. ELQ's reputation was severely damaged, and the family found themselves under intense scrutiny. The Corinthos family was divided, with members taking sides in the bitter feud. Michael, once a pillar of strength and integrity, found himself alone. The people he had once counted on had distanced themselves, unable to reconcile the man they knew with the ruthless strategist he had become. Willow, heartbroken by the changes in Michael, decided to leave him, taking their son Wiley with her. Drew, though publicly disgraced, found solace in the support of his loved ones. He vowed to clear his name and rebuild his life, determined not to let Michael's actions define him. The experience had hardened him, but it had also given him a renewed sense of purpose. In the end, both men had lost something irreplaceable. The conflict had changed them, leaving scars that would never fully heal. Michael, sitting alone in his office, stared at the portrait of his family that hung on the wall. He had fought to protect them, but in doing so, he had lost everything that truly mattered. Epilogue: a glimmer of hope. Months passed, and life in Port Charles slowly returned to a semblance of normalcy. ALQ struggled to regain its footing, but the company's foundation was stronger than any scandal. The Corinthos family, though fractured, began the slow process of healing. Michael, now a shadow of his former self, focused on repairing the damage he had done. He sought therapy, hoping to understand the choices he had made and find a way to move forward. He knew it would be a long road, but he was determined to become the man he once was. Drew, too, found a path to redemption. He cleared his name and rebuilt his relationship with Scout, cherishing every moment they spent together. He remained wary of Michael.